just to put this in perspective, 215 pounds on the barbell, as we see Amanda Barnhart come out for her opening attempt. 215 pounds on the barbell for the women. 5 years ago, 10 years ago especially, this would have been an almost unheard of weight for a female CrossFit athlete to clean. It's the starting weight here for the 10 fittest females, and that is an easy power clean for Amanda Barnard. Wow, what a display of strength coming out of the gate. I mean, that looked like almost a warm-up weight for her.
I have a feeling we're going to see that from a lot of women, conserving a bit of energy. That power clean, a little bit faster, more explosive, a little bit shorter range of motion instead of going all the way into that squat clean. And as you alluded to, David, Katrin Davidsdottir with the highest clean and jerk in 2015, 4 years ago, with 217 pounds. Again, slightly different circumstances out in the heat back then of Carson, California, but 217 pounds was the highest total that year. We see a little bit more struggle than we saw in the first rep, and a very easy lift. Again, we don't expect too many misses here at 215 pounds with these top 10 women. Again, looking back, another interesting event. Let's just go ahead and come back to the ladder again. Stepping up, one barbell under the lights. This has to feel amazing for these athletes. We see Helgadottir, again, her numbers back in 2015, she had a 202 clean and jerk. So again, this we're going to assume as the clean is going to be just all right for her. Let's see what she does. Fighting for it, and she's gonna stand it up. That will count. We had a little bit of a glitch in the broadcast there from the CrossFit Games, not on our end, and that will count as a 215. I don't think she's gonna be able to get the next barbell up of increasing 5 pounds as she struggled there. Again, 202 pounds back in 2015. This is something that is very tricky to increase over time, so it's gonna be very interesting to see how it all shakes up. Clean getting under it, trying to use the bounce a few times. Unfortunately, Shadburne does not make that lift.
And Shadburne is an athlete who, well, she's going to give it another go, but an athlete where Olympic lifting, she's been very public about this, not necessarily her strength, and so she will not be credited with that opener at 215. So I'm sure she's going to be a little disappointed to see that. But Shadburne's been pretty public on social media that she does struggle a bit when it comes to standing up out of heavy cleans, not her strongest suit. So clearly a gap in her fitness I'm sure she's going to be working on pretty extensively this off-season.
And you see her getting escorted the other way. Anyone who misses a lift is going to have a tiebreaker at the 195-pound barbell, so she is getting ready for that. Haley Adams here stepping up.
And just too heavy for her. You know, I honestly, it looked like she actually pulled that fairly high, Bo. I think she did have a shot at that, but she seems tired. I don't even know if I don't think she has this in her mentally.
No, definitely not. Again, if it's a bar she hasn't been that familiar with, even fresh, something that can definitely get in your head. She's going to head over to that 195-pound tiebreak as well. But who knows how much fatigue has accumulated over these last 3 days of competition, David. Here we see Katrin Davidsdottir, a very strong athlete. I expect her to have a nice clean rep here.
And Katrin Davidsdottir has competed at the Weightlifting World Championships. Nice clean rep for her. Now, she did represent her home country of Iceland at the 2015 Weightlifting World Championships, which were held in Houston, Texas, at that same event. Annie Thorisdottir and Sarah Sigmundsdottir, two athletes who were cut earlier today, also represented their home nation of Iceland. And here
we see Kari Pearce stepping up.
I'm very interested to see Kerry Pearce attack this weight. She is an athlete who has also been a little bit public that on some heavier movements, on these heavier Olympic lifting movements, they are not necessarily her strong suit, something she's been putting a lot of work in at the gym. Let's cheer her on, see if she can complete this rep. And Bo, just to impact it at home, if Kari's not able to complete this rep, that's going to really put a damper on her podium chances here. I mean, there are a lot of points available, and finishing in the bottom half of this field is going to be immensely impactful for an athlete like Kari.
That's very true, and she really wanted to fight for it. Again, she, of the 5 ladies of the 10 we see here competing today, in 2015, had the lowest total on that clean and jerk, only 185 4 years ago. So again, to get to 215 would be asking for a lot in 4 years. Again, those not familiar, those pounds do not come easily. Jamie Greene here stepping up out of New Zealand, normally focused or based out of Dubai, UAE, at CrossFit Yaz. Representing New Zealand, though. Gonna see if she's more of a gymnastics athlete, how this barbell handles her. Very strong. She actually won the CrossFit Open a few years ago. She's gonna go into that successful side. Not ready for that tiebreaker yet. She won the CrossFit Open back in 2016, the whole Worldwide Open, and she has been in that top 3 or 4 in every single year since. The 1 year she won, she actually competed on CrossFit Yaz's team that podiumed at the CrossFit Games. Again, things have changed a lot in these past years. And here we see Kristin Holte, 187 back in 2015.
Well, pretty routine work there for Kristin Holte at the 2019 Reebok CrossFit Games, the heaviest barbell any of these competitors have had in their hands so far at the Reebok CrossFit Games. She will join the successful lift side. And Bo, just to give folks a recap as we wait for Tia-Clair Toomey to come up, what happens if they miss a lift?
You're going to see them walking over to the left of your screen. There's a 195-pound barbell setup. I believe there are 5 barbells, and it's going to be a speed ladder they're going to be timed on, and that will determine the tiebreakers. We already see a number of women there between lifts, between the weights changing on the main bar. Tia Toomey making very easy work of that 215-pound barbell. Again, her history with the weightlifting is something we expect her to be very strong on.
Now, Tia-Clair Toomey squat cleaned that weight. It looked like something she could have power cleaned, which we saw some athletes open with here. Now, a lot of times athletes will start with that squat clean just to keep the legs fresh and to keep the movement pattern firing, just so that when that weight does get heavier and when they need to squat clean that weight, they're already prepped to actually squat under it. Their legs are already used to that movement. And here we see the athletes who were unsuccessful will be attempting their 195-pound clean tiebreaker. You see Shadburne, Adams, and Pearce.
So the points up for grabs here will be 50, 40, 30, 20, and 10, I believe, as each lady is going to have to. The tiebreaker here will determine where they sit on the top 10 rankings. Again, 10 points separate each position as you finish in this event. And we're going to see 5 females who missed that 215-pound barbell have to complete 5 reps as fast as possible. That will be their score for the tiebreaker.
Sorry, just 3 females. Just 3 competitors who were unable to complete that, just to clarify here.
10 seconds.
Adams, Pearce, and Shadburne must complete these reps as fast as possible. First one across the finish line will win this tiebreaker.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Kari Pearce, the first to the bar, handling it with a little bit more confidence.
And Haley Adams attempting a power clean and just struggling a bit there.
There's Pearce with 2 successful lifts.
There's another good lift for Shadburne. It just looks like Adams is taking her time. She seems tired, Bo. I'm just not sure she's going to be able to move that weight very effectively for all of these reps. As we see Pearce, ever a competitor, ever a tenacious competitor, unable to lift the 215 opening barbell, but making the most of this tiebreaker opportunity here with the 195-pound barbell, 4 reps.
So if the points hold true, Kari will earn 30 points here. A successful lift there.
Well, we still have some lifts to go, and with leg fatigue and leg strength being a limiter here, another missed lift for either Pearce or Shadburne could change where they're at as Pearce fights to make her 5th and final attempt, and she will be the first across the finish line in this tiebreaker round. So she will be awarded 30 points for this event now, with up to 100 points up for grabs for the winner of this event. That is a deficit Kerry Pearce could scarcely afford. Shadburne, 1 rep remaining on this 195-pound clean. 20 points up for grabs. Adams has completed 2 reps. Shadburne has completed 4 as she asks the crowd for a little support. Has to dig deep for this leg strength. This is the final individual event of day 3 here at the 2019 Reebok CrossFit Games.
Shadburne will complete it for the tiebreaker, and she will earn 20 points on that leaderboard.
And you can see it on Shadburne's face. She's just happy to be done with a very heavy event after a very long day of competition. And that will end the tiebreaker round. Those are the bottom 3 finishers in this event. And now we have the 7 women left in this event. The barbell has increased in weight.
So we're going up by 5 pounds here, David, to 220 pounds.
First up is Amanda Barnhart, who honestly had an easy-looking power clean at 215. Expect to see the same here. And the crowd reacts to that weight. Folks, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, if you've lifted weights before, or if you're relatively new to the sport. It's tough to make 220 pounds, which is roughly 100 kilograms, almost exactly, look as light as Amanda Barnhart did there. She is putting on a clinic, and the crowd is just gasping with enthusiasm and almost disbelief at how light she makes that barbell look. Amanda Barnhart is a beast for sure. Hearing some viewers say that in the comments. And if you're just tuning in on YouTube or Facebook, let us know who you're rooting for, and let us know who you're most excited to see lift here in the last event of day 3 at the 2019 Reebok CrossFit Games.
Fragkou will stand that up pretty handily.
Had to work a little bit more than Barnhart there, I'd have to say. But hey, a good lift's a good lift. Doesn't matter if you squat clean it or if you power clean it. Still counts.
That's right. Barnhart is setting a very high bar for what looks easy right now, and I'm curious to see if she can clear that 260 pounds final bar. So here we're going to see Helgadottir step up and attempt at 220 pounds, 100 kilograms. I don't know what that is in stone, which is 14 pounds per stone.
And it looks like Helgadottir very quick under the barbell, not able to stand up with it. She does have 15 seconds left. She may have time for another attempt, but I think the leg strength is gone from her after a long and tiring competition. And the barbell just too far out front there. And Bo, even off the ground, you could see her drift forward a little too far onto the balls of her feet. And even if you're able to get under the barbell there, if you're catching it on the balls of your feet towards your toes, it's difficult to keep your center of mass under you and have a successful lift as you squat that weight up. Now, one athlete who knows a lot about maintaining form when it comes to cleans, who has faced heavy cleans in competition, Katrin Davidsdottir, World Weightlifting Championships competitor in 2015. Look at the efficiency of movement there. Wow.
That's right. And she looks slow coming off the bar compared to, say, an Amanda Barnhart who's just muscling it up almost. But that slowness actually is smooth, and the smoothness is actually what creates speed, as we hear Coach Mike Bergner, famous coach in the Olympic weightlifting space and CrossFit space, often say, slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
All right, Jamie Greene, an athlete who knows a thing or two about lifting some heavy weight.
She struggled a bit with the 215. I'm very curious to see how she does with this 220. She's going to have to tighten up her technique a bit, not wearing Olympic lifting shoes.
And she's able to come away with a better looking rep than her first there.
Absolutely. That was a great looking rep. Again, out of New Zealand. a gymnastics background, but she has shored up her game to make sure she's a well-rounded athlete and stays very high on that leaderboard. Again, these weights will just keep going up, so we'll see how far she can get on this ladder. Love the format here.
We do see Kristin Holte wearing Olympic weightlifting shoes, and for those who might not be familiar with the sport of weightlifting shoes have a bit of a raised heel, a bit of a hard sole, which makes it a little bit easier to get into that squat position, as we'll see right here. It gives the athlete a little bit of an advantage as far as positioning, helps them stay a little bit more upright under a lift like a heavy clean, which is exactly what these athletes are facing. Next
You saw her bounce out of there a little bit. Always allowed, even on the Olympic stage. Again, not the most efficient way to complete the lift, but as we said before, a good lift is a good lift.
Tia-Clair Toomey, the 2016 Olympian in weightlifting, representing Australia, an athlete with impeccable form, one of the finest weightlifters in her weight category on the international stage, back-to-back Reebok CrossFit Games champion. And that's how you do it. She is fantastic. I have to say, of all the athletes in this field, well, Amanda Barnhart, maybe count her out because of the power clean she's been performing, but both Tia-Clair Toomey and Katrin Davidsdottir, fantastic at catching that bounce and using the stretch reflex through their lower body to make it a little bit easier to stand that weight up. That takes an impeccable level of timing, concentration, experience, and just a lot of reps in the gym to get that movement pattern ingrained.
And another thing that we may forget from time to time in watching these amazing athletes compete for the fittest on earth is this is event 8 of the 3rd day of the CrossFit Games, fighting for the fittest on earth. So these ladies have a lot of fatigue, having built up over the last 3 days. Something to keep in mind, something that CrossFit does get a little bit of flack for, of completing these higher skill, heavier lifts under fatigue. Some people are critics of that, whereas again, to me, it's an amazing format to test this fitness under. Again, the definition of fitness, looking at how much work can you get done.
All right, and no stranger to work, Amanda Barnhart, who has truly shocked the crowd here at the Alliant Energy Center Coliseum in Madison, Wisconsin, with the ease with which she's approached this barbell and this heavy weight.
As she makes easy work, she's going to choose to squat clean for the first time along here, maybe for a little bit more efficiency, or maybe to start getting used to that movement pattern, perhaps her strategy there. I would say that's more likely the case.
I do think that's the case, Bo. I agree with that. This is a weight that I think she could probably power clean. She's using the squat clean to keep those legs fresh, to keep that movement pattern firing. When she gets to a weight that she actually does need to squat clean, she wants to make sure her legs are prepared for that, and that her nervous system is prepared for that movement pattern. All right, 225 pounds still on the barbell for the final Finnish athlete in the women's competition here.
Now that is a great use of the stretch reflex. You saw her time it, as we were alluding to earlier. She must have heard you, David, and really utilized that bounce out of the bottom, out of the catch as the bar hits, using that stretch reflex to stand up. That looked like her easiest rep at the highest weight that she's attempted so far.
All right, Katrin Davidsdottir, your 2015 and 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games champion, approaching that barbell. This is her 7th CrossFit Games appearance. They have not been consecutive. She did fail to qualify in 2014, came back with a vengeance to win in 2015. And beginning to show just a little sign of fatigue there, taking just a millisecond longer to stand that weight up, but that rep still looked clean, and I really like her patience heading into that 3rd pull and how she's able to keep her center of mass under the barbell standing up, not drifting too far forward, really utilizing her strongest muscle groups in the squat portion of that clean. Now, Jamie Greene, we did see struggle a little bit on her opening rep. 220 looked a little stronger, hoping 225 goes her way as well.
I did want to quickly point out on the last round at 220 there was a miss, but no need for a tiebreak as she was the only athlete. Helgadottir from Iceland. Ooh, and you see Jamie Greene miss it. She does have the full 20 seconds here to attempt another rep here. Getting pumped up, getting the crowd involved.
I'm going to watch her positioning here. and just not in it for Jamie Greene today. And you know, when she caught that barbell, she did catch it in a full squat. She did have adequate speed going under the barbell. Didn't catch it particularly upright. That barbell pulling her forward a little bit, not able to maintain that thoracic stability needed to front squat this weight up.
We saw her knees kind of give in a bit there, so as to your point, the positioning was not ideal.
That's why weightlifters train a lot of front squats.
Let's see what Kristin Holte can do here.
Going for 225.
She will successfully complete that lift. Holte, she keeps utilizing that extra bounce out of the bottom there. So we're going to see her move on to the next barbell with another successful lift as Tia Toomey asks for the crowd to get a little bit louder. She wants that energy at
She is your defending champion. She is indicating this is her platform, this full-size Olympic lifting platform from Rogue Fitness. Tia-Clair Toomey has faced this platform in competition at the Olympic Games, showing why she earned that Olympic spot with a routine clean at 225. She's just ready for more weight.
That's right, and Jamie Greene, who was the only lady to miss at this weight, 225, as they're moving the bar now to 230, she will not have to complete any tiebreakers at 195. I'm sure she's thankful for her legs to not have had to do 5 more reps at 195. Here we see a replay of Tia Toomey. Again, very smooth.
And what we're looking for from the side here is almost a straight up and down bar path, which Tia-Clair Toomey exhibits almost to perfection there. A straight up and down bar path is going to be optimally efficient. You don't want that barbell drifting too far forward or backward with a heavy load that's going to put you out of position, and that's just a longer distance you have to move that heavy weight. The best weightlifters in the world, Olympic champions, world champions, record holders, they're going to move that barbell almost perfectly vertically in both the snatch and the clean and jerk with no extraneous movement in that other plane of motion. It's just straight up and down, really moving their bodies around the barbell more than moving the barbell around their bodies. Some people call weightlifting ballet with heavy weight.
I've also heard it referred to as barbell gymnastics. Here we see Amanda Barnhart. Again, she pulled so high, she could have power cleaned it, but I believe she's preparing for those heavier bars and grooving that squat pattern. It looked very easy for her, so I expect to see continuous movement on her as the barbell keeps getting heavier and heavier.
And even if you can power clean a weight, squat cleaning weight and starting a little lower than weight where you might need to squat clean, it's a smart idea because it can be a bit of shock to the system if you get to a weight where you need to squat clean and you haven't prepped that movement pattern. You may catch it out of position, you may risk injury, so I like what Amanda Barnhart's doing there, just preparing her legs for heavier weight down the road. And the crowd wanted her to stand that up. We are a full 15 pounds ahead of the weight we started at, and so these competitors have done a number of reps. Their legs already tired coming into this 8th overall individual event. Well, they've got to dig deep into their reserves to make these lifts in this ascending weight ladder. Here we see Katrin Davidsdottir coming up for her attempt at 230. The athletes have 20 seconds to complete these lifts, so even if they miss the first attempt, they do have a chance to make a second attempt, although on tired legs, that is certainly a tall task.
And you see Katrin utilize that bounce, a sign that she did not catch it perfectly. She does have the strength and the familiarity with that barbell to reposition herself and still stand it up and complete that successful lift.
All right, Kristin Holte of Norway taking her attempt at 230 as the field is slowly whittled down. One woman will be left standing.
You saw her getting herself pumped up a little bit there. She stepped up to the platform.
Can she do it? No, too tall of a task. And I say that one woman will be left standing at the end of this clean ladder. Well, that's not necessarily the case because we could have multiple women clear all 200 260 pounds of that final barbell given enough time. And Holte will be unsuccessful at 230 and will be escorted politely by the judge staff off the Coliseum floor here in Madison, Wisconsin. There she is, your champ. The person all of these other women are chasing. And if she's successful here, that's going to create some further separation between Toomey and Holte, along with some of the other competitors hot on her heels like Kerry Pearce, who has already been eliminated. Easy work from Tia-Clair Toomey, and that is certainly going to put a damper in Kristin Holte's chances of catching leader Tia-Clair Toomey.
Just to update everybody, there currently is a significant difference between Tia Toomey's 621 points and Kristin Holte's 576. So that is going to increase the difference there.
And it is worth mentioning, we don't know the full schedule for tomorrow. We don't know how many individual events are left. And we don't know how many points exactly are available for these competitors on Sunday, the fourth and final day of competition. So every placement matters here. Tia-Clair Toomey has one goal in mind. That is her third consecutive Reebok CrossFit Games championship. She is getting closer with each made lift as other women are eliminated, particularly Kristin Holte, who failed to clean 230 pounds. If Tia-Clair Toomey were to repeat, she would become the first ever three-time women's Reebok CrossFit Games champion. Amanda Barnard, looking to be the strongest competitor physically in this event. Well, that might be the first barbell we've seen so far that she maybe had to squat clean, though.
I agree with you, David, but still pretty easy work for her. I expect even if she doesn't finish the 260 right now, she is still looking like the strongest of the four ladies left. I did want to point out on the leaderboard, Tia Toomey is the only one still standing of the top 5 point leaders coming into this event. So she's going to definitely create a little more separation and breathing room for herself.
That's a fantastic point, Bo. Tia-Clair Toomey really padding that significant lead heading into this event by being the only one of the top 5 women left in this event. This 230, 235-pound barbell right here is where we're going to see a lot of these competitors really struggle and reach their limits on leg strength. They've done a number of reps leading up to this. It's not like they're taking this under normal maxing out conditions. And right.
Down to 3 ladies here in event 8, day 3, the Reebok CrossFit Games.
Great attempt from Fragkou there and fantastic performance as she competes against these other fittest women on earth. Katrin Davidsdottir, 235. I think we're approaching a weight where we might see Katrin Davidsdottir struggle a little bit to stand up out of the bottom of that clean. And there we see it. Wow, it looks like it got a little bit in front of her and she had to bail halfway up during that squat portion. She has the rest of this 20 seconds. This is do or die. Can Katrin Davidsdottir hang on and actually make this clean? Can she? No.
That is asking a lot to get that second attempt in. The first one took a bit out of her on top of fatigue legs. Very close to what's most likely her lifetime 1RM. She ends up still in great position, though, at 5th place. Not going to lose a ton of points here between Tia Toomey and Amanda Barnhart, still standing strong.
So we will have a tiebreaker, it seems, after Tia-Clair Toomey's attempt, no matter what happens. We have 2 athletes eliminated on this barbell, so we will have the 195 barbell for reps, and Tia-Clair Toomey making easy work at 235. That might as well be 135 pounds for Tia-Clair Toomey, the 2016 Olympian and 2-time defending Reebok CrossFit Games champion. She's wearing that white leader jersey for a reason. And you rarely see Tia-Clair Toomey look like this. She is determined. Her face is stoic. She's normally smiling, waving to the crowd, interacting with fans. Fantastic representative for the CrossFit community. But right now, with a heavy barbell in front of her, she is locked in, and we're going to return to the floor just now for this 195-pound for 5-rep tiebreak. First athlete to complete those reps and cross the finish line will come out on top of this tiebreaker.
My money's on Katrin Davidsdottir here. I believe she looked a little bit stronger on all the barbells coming up, but it is still anyone's game. This is going to be a difference of 10 points on the leaderboard here, who finishes ahead and faster.
Every point counts, every second counts, every rep counts in the sport of CrossFit. There you see your two women remaining, Amanda Barnhart and Tia-Clair Toomey.
Two very different athletes in the way that they approach the barbell between Barnhart and Toomey. And here we'll take a look at the speed ladder, 5 reps, 4 time, 195-pound barbell.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, our 2 athletes.
All right, and Bo, you had guessed Katrin Davidsdottir could get off to a faster start here, but she is actually cleaning at a slower pace here.
The fatigue must be catching up to her based on what I've seen in the past. Fragkou making mincemeat of this barbell. I have not seen a display like this in a while at the CrossFit Games. She wanted it a little bit more there. She had fresher legs maybe, I don't know, but she definitely took it.
Well, the Finnish athlete bests the Icelandic athlete, as Katrin Davidsdottir is going to try and finish this up in order to please the crowd, and she will cross the finish line. A fantastic perennial competitor, giving a hug to her competition, back-to-back champion a few years ago. Certainly a force to be reckoned with in the sport of CrossFit.
Fragkou almost went touch and go on those. That was just impressive. She really wanted that extra 10 points. She's fighting for each point, as we alluded to. Every point, every rep matters. She set a blistering pace there with, she really wanted those 10 points. Here we go to 240 pounds for these last 2 ladies.
Now, this is what we wanted. It doesn't get more head-to-head, more exciting. Who's stronger? Your best lift versus my best lift in an ascending clean ladder. Barnhart coming out strong, making 240 look like lightweight, but I will say she is slowing down just a little bit. She power cleaned her first few reps, her first few squat cleans she did just to get in the groove. That's the first weight we've seen since the opening 215-pound barbell where she slowed down even a tiny bit on that squat.
Her pull still was very strong, David. She got all the way up to what would have been a power clean, again, choosing to clean it down.
All right, Tia-Clair Toomey approaching this 240-pound barbell. Something we've seen her lift before, but this is no baby weight. Wow.
She makes it look like baby weight, to your point. Just easy way to stand it right up. That was one of her strongest lifts. And again, in this sport of Olympic weightlifting, which is its own sport, every centimeter, every millimeter counts. As you alluded to, that bar path, if you hit it right, just like if you hit a golf ball right, if you hit a baseball right, it just goes so smoothly and looks almost effortless.
And I'm really enjoying these replays from the side so you can get a better sense of the bar path here for these two fantastic athletes. Very, very efficient. And it's worth noting that in addition to her Olympic Games appearance, Tia-Clair Toomey won the 2018 Commonwealth Games in the women's 58-kilogram category. She finished in 14th at the 2016 Summer Olympics in that same body weight category.
As they increase the weight on the barbell, get it set to go. Feels like a bit of a heavyweight boxing match here between Barnhart and Tia Toomey. Neither one wanting to relent. Barnhart, again, has a little bit more what looks like strength. But, you know, we've seen in boxing, sometimes you have that favorite, and it's the underdog you're rooting for. So Tia Toomey has the experience, has the pedigree, but Barnhart so far has been making that barbell look like she owns it.
And I do want to point out that we do have some numbers from competition for Tia-Clair Toomey. When she won the 2018 Commonwealth Games in weightlifting on fresh legs, she lifted 114 kilograms in the clean and jerk. That's roughly 251 pounds.
245, still looking pretty good, but we keep seeing her slow down little by little as the weight keeps creeping up. Again, a bit of fatigue has to be setting in. Very different than Olympic weightlifting, where you only get 3 attempts at your clean and jerk, but we're only doing cleans here. And again, it's a different challenge. It's not the same exact sport. CrossFit will continue to throw different things at you as we define fitness as work capacity over broad time and modal domains. And who is going to be the last woman standing? Even if it's a tie, we do have a tiebreaker in place. I'm kind of rooting for that. I don't know if we'll see it. It should be pretty exciting. Even at that 235 bar tiebreaker, that was exciting to watch as Fragkou made mincemeat of the 195 bar. Here comes Tia Toomey, 245.
Wow, Tia-Clair Toomey showing why she is an internationally elite weightlifter now. As far as I know, one of her best competition clean and jerks, which was completed at the 2018 Commonwealth Games, where she won gold in the sport of weightlifting. Her best clean and jerk at that competition was 114 kilograms, about 251 pounds. That does not mean that her max clean. Many athletes can clean more than they can jerk. Many athletes can jerk more than they can clean. This is just testing how heavy can you clean up to 260 pounds, which is the heaviest barbell that we'll see for these women here in Madison, Wisconsin. Both Toomey and Barnhart, accomplished lifters in their own right. Toomey with an international competition pedigree and has very much increased her strength over the years. She's gotten fitter and she's gotten stronger. It seems like every time we see Tia-Clair Toomey, she's added something to her already impressive arsenal of fitness tricks and work capacity.
Just as a little bit of reference, I mentioned it earlier on in this event. Feels like a bit of a while ago. Tia Toomey in 2015. There's Barnhart. Still looking very strong, a little bit stronger than previous. She might be turning it up a notch. Again, this is like a heavyweight boxing match. They're just going punch for punch. I'm curious to see if we get to that tiebreaker bar. But as I was saying, David, in 2015, Tia Toomey on that clean and jerk ladder did get to 212 pounds under the sun in Carson, California. So very different circumstances, but significantly higher numbers here with just the clean in place.
All right, Toomey, 250 pounds on the barbell. This is something we've seen her clean on relatively fresh legs with a lot fewer reps on the international weightlifting stage. We've also seen her successfully jerk more weight than this. Taking just a second to set herself in the bottom of that squat clean. That doesn't necessarily mean this is too much weight for her, that she can't handle it. It might be that she just caught that slightly out of position, and I think for Tia-Clair Toomey, that wasn't so much about not having the leg strength to catch it out of the first bounce. It's just maybe the barbell getting a little bit in front of her. Yeah, you know, you could see her butt rock back. You could see her center of gravity maybe have to shift. And that's just making sure that she doesn't lose the lift and lose the weight forward as she stands up in that squat portion. So I actually think it's a very mature choice for her to take an extra second at the bottom of that lift. And that just comes from thousands and thousands of reps worth of experience.
And I do want to point out, this is the 8th heavy barbell these ladies lifted at the 250, and this will be the 9th rep that they're completing in this event 8 here at day 3 of the CrossFit Games, Reebok CrossFit Games out of Madison, Wisconsin. So getting ready as they reset the platform at 255 pounds for this heavyweight boxing match that I just keep picturing that back and forth, big shots going.
It is certainly blow for blow. And just to put it in context, we had 3 women, 3 of the 10 fittest women at the 2019 Reebok CrossFit Games, unable to clean the opening barbell at 215 pounds. And here we are with Amanda Barnard and Tia-Clair Toomey making mincemeat, as my fellow color commentator Bo Babenko would say, of 250 pounds plus. So extraordinary strength and really separating themselves from the rest of the pack when it comes to the lifting proficiency. And Barnhart, maybe the first sign of struggle for her in the entire clean ladder, but really no question as she takes just a second, a slight wobble halfway up during the squat portion of that clean, and that will be a good lift for her. Can Tia-Clair Toomey, the 2-time defending champion, the Olympian, the Commonwealth Games champion, match her lift for lift at 255 pounds?
Tia very focused. She is not a stranger to this pressure.
And that looked
There it
even
is.
better than her 250, Bo. Wow.
And to your point earlier, that she might have just caught it a little bit off at the 250-pound barbell. 255, she made sure, tightened up her technique, got it a little bit cleaner of a catch. As those not that familiar with the barbell, if you think about golf or baseball, if you hit it on that sweet spot, that's what this would be analogous to. Just a much more smooth bar path, catching it, the right timing. All those pieces need to come together, not just pure strength.
It's finesse, it's timing, it's mobility, it's speed. Weightlifting requires all these things in order to succeed, and Barnhart and Toomey have that in spades. And I also want to point out, as we approach this final 260-pound barbell, this is a weight that would have been impossible for many CrossFit Games competitors on the men's side to think about hitting even 10 years ago at some of those early iterations of the CrossFit Games. You'd see the men failing with lighter weights than this. The women are making mincemeat out of this. It's an extraordinary example of how far the sport has come and how far the athletes have pushed the envelope of what fitness and strength mean.
And this will be the final barbell. One attempt for each athlete. If they both hit it or if they both miss it, we will go to a tiebreaker back at the 195-pound barbell. 1 minute to complete 5 successful reps at 195 pounds to determine who will get 100 points and who will get 90 points in this event 8.
And this is intense. Folks, it doesn't get more exciting than this. As a weightlifting fan, as a CrossFit fan, as a Reebok CrossFit Games fan, this is everything you want to see. Down to the wire, 2 athletes head-to-head. Amanda Barnhart clears the clean ladder, 260 pounds like nothing for Amanda Barnhart. A fantastic performance. I don't know if my excitement is really translating to this color commentary. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm not even in my seat anymore, watching these two competitors go blow for blow, a heavyweight battle for the ages. Tia-Clair Toomey, the 2-time defending champion. Can she match Amanda Barnhart? 260 pounds on the barbell, the final barbell in this clean ladder. Can we have 2 women, 2 of the fittest women in 2019, finish this weight? And
yes, we can.
Does it.
There it is. Very exciting. We're going to see the tiebreaker now. As I mentioned, the format of that will be over at the 195-pound barbell. Both ladies squaring up. Again, Amanda Barnhart giving a fist bump to one of the judges. No rules against that, or possibly a media person. But again, just in good spirits, whereas Tia Toomey looks very focused still. Maybe a little bit of a deficit in pure strength, but that technique still there. That's what has brought her 2 titles as fittest woman on earth, as well as numerous Olympic weightlifting accolades.
All right, and we move from the heavyweight all the way down 65 pounds taken off the barbell, as these 2 women, these fierce competitors, 2 of the fittest women on earth, will go head to head in a speed ladder. The fastest to complete 5 195-pound cleans and then cross the finish line will walk away with 100 points. The second place finisher will walk away with 90 points. No, apologies, we have
They have changed their mind. CrossFit has done this before. They want to keep the excitement going. So let's see if the new barbell, definitely agree with this decision. A little different than what they had listed. But we're going to see if they can hit 265 instead of going to the tiebreaker. Definitely more exciting. Who can lift more? Amanda Barnhart has not really shown much of a slowdown as the weights have increased. Let's see how she does with 265.
Here we go, Madison.
Oh, and that's a huge miss for Barnhart and gives Tia-Clair Toomey the opportunity to win this event outright. Can Barnhart steel herself? Can she bring herself together to take another attempt in that 20-second window? She cannot. Tia-Clair Toomey now controls her own destiny. And folks, I want to point out something Bo mentioned just a minute ago that may have slipped through the cracks here or may have gone unnoticed. CrossFit has actually changed the rules of this competition by adding a heavier barbell. They thought 260 pounds was going to be high enough. That is the upper limit that we originally thought these women were going to face, but they are so strong. They are so accomplished that we need to determine a winner, and the crowd wants the winner to be determined by a head-to-head challenge of strength. So we are now up 5 pounds heavier than we thought it was possible to go in this clean competition. Tia-Clair Toomey, 265 pounds on the barbell.
There it is.
Outright win. Tia-Clair Toomey, the fittest woman on earth, 2 years in a row.
Let's
pumped up.
Go. Sorry to jump in there.
She is the fittest competitor 2 years running, trying to make it 3 years running. The crowd is on their feet, a standing ovation. She is the strongest competitor. When Amanda Barnhart started off this competition with easy power cleans, we thought her strength would be unmatchable. Tia-Clair Toomey, methodical, rep by rep by rep, the most consistent, proving once and for all that she is the strongest woman in this remaining field of 10 competitors. Look at the concentration on her face. Look at the determination on her face. She is the leader. She's wearing the white jersey. You want to be the fittest on earth? Come and get it, she says. Good luck.
And I wonder how much that rule change threw off Amanda Barnhart, knowing that 260 was originally the final barbell. Maybe she had a slightly different mindset going into 265. Perhaps she was thinking about the 195 tiebreak, and they might have informed her right then and there that the rules have changed. We want to see a winner. We don't want to see a 195 bar. We want to see the fireworks at 265, and Tia Toomey brought it. Sorry for my excitement. As she slams that bar down, you see the excitement she displayed. I feel that same energy all the way here through the screen. Hopefully you guys feel it at home. What an event. Very exciting.